Hello and welcome to the In News series section of Drishti IAS. I'm Aisha, and in today's episode we will be discussing about the PM Modi and Putin meeting. So in the last 3 years, for the first time, PM Modi is meeting Vladimir Putin. So this is becoming the talk of the town, or you can say all the headlines talks about this meeting, because after a long period of time the meeting is taking place, or you can say after the Russia-Ukraine war, this is the first time that PM Modi will be meeting his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin. So first of all, about the points of discussion, first we will be looking at the news, then why Russia is a priority for India, and then few sub-points within the Russia a priority, that is defense interest, war and oil boost to trade, diplomatic way, China's factor, and in the end prelims practice question. Topic is of relevance from General Studies paper 2, that is international relations and bilateral groupings, and bilateral relations or groupings. So becomes all the more important because Russia, we cannot say that is a new friend of India. Russia is a decade-old friend of India. We have a long history with Russia, and since the time it was USSR, and India and USSR or India and Russia have shared very good bilateral relations with each other. So the news talks about PM Modi's first bilateral visit this term, Russia's importance for India. First bilateral visit this term means that this is the third time that Mr. Narendra Modi has been termed as the Prime Minister of India, and also Vladimir Putin has also become the head of the state for Russia. And then since the time Russia-Ukraine war has taken place, then after that this will be the first time that PM Modi will be meeting the Russian counterpart. So let us see. PM Modi will be in Russia to meet Vladimir Putin or the President Putin for 2 days, that is 8th and 9th of July, that is Monday and Tuesday. So PM Modi is on a 2-day visit to Russia, and the two leaders have met a total 16 times since Mr. Modi has become the Prime Minister of India, that is in 2014 when he started and was the first time became the Prime Minister of India, then his second term, and then his third term, which recently is going on. So since that time both have met for 16 times, but not since Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022. So since the time Russia-Ukraine war, this will be the first time that both will be meeting with each other. And PM Modi last went to Russia for Eastern Economic Forum meeting in Vladivostok in September 2019. So PM Modi last time went to Russia in year 2019, and President Putin last visited India in December 2021 for annual bilateral summit. So PM Modi last went in 2019 and President Putin came in 2021. So since then both have not met, and recently the SCO meeting which is going on in Kazakhstan, PM Modi has not attended the meeting. While on the other hand, in the last few years, or specifically since the time of Russia-Ukraine war, Russia's relationship with China is accelerating, and that can be a point of concern for New Delhi. So let us see that why Russia is a priority for India. So choosing Russia for his first bilateral visit after being sworn in as the Prime Minister for the third term, this shows that Russia is important for India, because mostly we see that Indian Prime Minister after swearing in goes to a neighborhood state for the first bilateral talk. But this time PM Modi has chosen Russia for his first bilateral talk, even though PM Modi went to Italy for attending the G7 summit, but as in bilateral relationship with some other country, this will be PM Modi's first visit. Then PM Modi meeting Putin at the same time when NATO completes 75 years. And we all know that the Western countries, that is US and the NATO nations, they have put sanctions on Russia, and PM Modi is going to meet the Russian president at the same time when the NATO, which you can say the anti-Russia alliance, is completing the 75 years, and the NATO nations will be meeting to celebrate the 75 years of NATO. Then if we talk about both the countries, that is India and Russia, then the strongest point between India and Russia is with regard to the defense equipment. So the defense relationship between India and Russia is the biggest point or the biggest factor in India-Russia relationship, because Russia is the biggest exporter and has been a biggest exporter in the last 3 to 4 decades. If we talk about, you can say in the last 50 years, we have imported maximum amount of defense equipments from Russia. So defense is the strongest pillar of the strategic partnership by far, with nuclear and space cooperation also occupying an important place. So around more than, you can say 50 or you can say even more than 60% of the defense equipments that India has imported till now comes from Russia. And then space cooperation, we take a lot of help and learning from Russia, and so same goes with the nuclear cooperation. Then India has diversified its relationship in a multipolar world now, because it's a multipolar world. And if we see in the last few decades, India's relationship with Russia is going strongly, but India has also framed good relationship and good bilateral relations with other countries also, like for example the Western countries, the US, the European countries. So India, because it's a multipolar world now, India, and as India's stature is also increasing on the global stage, India is also making good stance and is also making a good stand with other countries also apart from Russia. India's relationship with Russia is 7 decades old, and if we go historically, then during the time of the Cold War, or you can say during the time of the UN resolutions, or during the time of, you can say, when India needed technology, when India needed nuclear support, when India needed defense support, it was Russia it was USSR which has always stepped up to support India. Then few of the matters that which talks about how important Russia is for India. First of all is the defense interest. So around 60 to 70% of India's defense equipment is of Russian and Soviet origin. So in this multipolar world, more than 190, or you can say around 200 countries are there, we are importing our defense equipment more than 60%. So this talks about how good relations we share with the country, and it is Russia from where we have got around 60 to 70% of the defense equipments. Then defense cooperation has evolved over the years from time to time. Earlier it was with regard to the buyer and seller relationship. Buyer was India and seller was Russia and USSR. But now it has evolved just from the buyer-seller relationship and has went on to be involved in the joint R&D, that is research and development, co-development and joint production. Because over the years, India's stature, India's economy, India's GDP, and India has come up as a world leader, and the economy of India is doing really well. Then if we talk about from the defense equipments perspective, then the things that we have imported from Russia is that the S-400 surface to air missile system, then MiG-29 fighter aircraft, Kamov helicopters, T-90 tanks, Su-30 MKI fighters, AK-203 assault rifles, BrahMos supersonic cruise missiles. These names becomes important because it can be asked in the examination that any of the name can be given, and it can be asked that India is taking this from, or India is manufacturing these things with support from, or the joint partner is these kind of things can be asked in the prelims exams. Then India has shifted to United States, France and Israel for the supply of defense equipments in the recent time, but that does not mean that we are not importing things from Russia. The importance of Russia and the stance of Russia and the stand of Russia will always remain important for India, but because it's a multipolar world, India also needs to have its relationship base growing and expanding. So India has also started to import from other countries with regard to US, France and Israel. Then comes the next point, and that is war and oil boost to trade. Now crude oil is a factor on which India is completely dependent on the imports, because India import a lot of oil, or you can say that maximum percentage is what India imports from outside. More than 70 to 80% of the oil is what India imports from outside, and India has been buying a large amount of Russian oil at a discount to cushion the inflationary impact of rising crude prices. And this is in Indian interest also, because India is getting it in a discounted price, and for Russia's it is in good interest, because after the war it is the Western countries had put sanction on Russia so that Russia's economy gets disrupted. But because India is also buying oil from Russia, so it is good for Russia's economy also. And also the payment method has been, many a times we have seen that it is the payment method is being used is with regard to the country's currency, that is the rupee ruble framework. So this also works good for the rupee and also works well for the concept of the internationalization of rupee, that rupee is getting strengthened because the payment mode with regard to making payment to some other country, rupee is being used. Then the balance of trade was heavily in Russia's favor, specifically with regard to India importing crude oil and fertilizer from Russia, and that is why the balance of, you can say, the balance of trade is in Russia's favor. Then India's 61.44 billion imports were made up mostly by the Russian oil and petroleum products, then fertilizers, mineral resources, precious stones, metals and vegetable oil. So overall the trade you can say is around 65 billion, and out of this India is importing around 61 billion. And when we talk about the Russian oil, so the usual contract that India and Russia have with regard to each other, but with regard to the Russia-Ukraine war, because India was getting oil at a discounted price, so the amount or to which India has bought oil from Russia has surpassed what was written in the framework or agreement. Then comes the diplomatic way. So India has walked the diplomatic tightrope, not explicitly condemning the Russian invasion, but calling for an international probe. So India has not come out and has talked about negative things on the Russian invasion, but India has always been in support of diplomatic way out, so that war is not the solution of anything and civilian population must not suffer. So the lives should not be lost. This is what India has always talked about. Then India has abstained from voting. So India abstained from voting against Russia in several resolutions which were placed in the United Nations Security Council. So India abstained itself, India did not vote. Then in November 2022 visit, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has conveyed that India is on the side of peace, respect for international law and support for the UN Charter. So India is always in support of peace, and anyway peace should be the ultimate aim of any country or the world. Then during the SCO Summit 2022, Prime Minister Narendra Modi talked about this is not the era of war, and this line actually became very important and was also included in the New Delhi Declaration, that this is not the era of war. Then comes the China factor. Now that after the Russia-Ukraine war, as the Western nations put sanction on Russia, so the one country which has taken, or you can say which was which was on good terms with Russia, or the relationship between Russia and that country was accelerated and has been accelerated since the time war started, is China. And we see that in the last few years the Russia-China relationship is on a rise, and the meeting between the counterpart with Russian President Vladimir Putin and the Chinese counterpart is taking place. And recently during the SCO meeting, which Prime Minister Narendra Modi did not attend, but the Vladimir Putin and the Chinese counterpart was there and they attended the SCO meeting. So China's factor, Russia's reliance on China, unlike India, has shown animosity towards the West on multiple occasions, kept advancing. So China has been vocal with regard to their animosity with regard to the West, while India on the other hand is not. Then Vladimir Putin has called Xi Jinping in Beijing shortly after inauguration of his 5th presidential term. So the moment Mr. Putin became the 5th time president of Russia, for the first thing that he did was he called on the Xi Jinping to talk about. Then Putin also met the Chinese leader at the SCO summit, which is recently taking place and has just concluded, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi skipped the meeting. Then New Delhi has to ensure that Russia maintains neutrality in the India-China territorial dispute, as it has done so far. So because India and Russia share so much of historical relevance, so much of historical relations, keeping Russia on India's side, or you can say keeping Russia neutral so that it does not alienate towards the China, is very important for New Delhi. Then Russia should not shift to Beijing's corner or China's side, as if we see the areas where China is making interest, you can say China is also increasing its presence in the African continent. China is increasing or advancing its relationship with Russia. Then China is also increasing its prominence in the Indo-Pacific region or the South China Sea. So these are the things that India needs to be aware of, and for that India's relationship with Russia in present scenario needs to be looked into. Now in the end, a prelims MCQ, and you people will give me the answer in the comment section. It is a PYQ of the year 2019. So recently India signed a deal known as Action Plan for Prioritization and Implementation of Cooperation Areas in the Nuclear Field with which of the following countries? So that is Japan, Russia, United Kingdom, United States of America. So I gave you this question so that you must know that questions is being asked on what lines. As I just told you, with regard to any of the defense equipment, see here our deal name is given and it is asking it is taking place between which two countries. So these kind of questions can be asked. So give me the answer in the comment section, and that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading, keep writing, and keep subscribing to the channel. Thank you.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.